ThekarmicDF.
What is up, guys? It's the Karmic DF from TikTok, back to you again with another video. This time we are going to dig into why you can't find the one, what we kind of like miss, how we can put the puzzle pieces together so that we can see each relationship that either was painful or just simply a lesson, how we can see how that all taught us what we needed and what we didn't need so that we can ultimately find the perfect spouse for us. Now, obviously there's no such thing as perfection, but someone that is well tailored to you. And so if you are sick and tired of settling, if you are tired of making excuses for people that have run their course, if you're tired of wanting love and being told that the version of love that you seek doesn't exist, but you know in your heart that it does, then this video is for you. We're going to dive into why we sabotage our chance of finding that, why society makes us believe that that's not realistic, and what we can do moving forward so that we no longer settle. We find true, unconditional, emotionally available, healthy, mutually reciprocal love. So if that's something that you have been, trying to find, but it just hasn't been working out for you, then maybe there are some things that we might have been missing and we can use that to move forward on our journey. So if you like videos like this, please give me a like on this video. It helps me so much so that other people can see the video in the algorithm. If you have anything to contribute, if you want to share your story, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I love reading them so much. And please subscribe if you enjoy the material. And like I've always said, this is a community of us. So whatever you guys need and your journey as well, feel free to leave in the comments as well. And I will probably likely do a video on that. So as always, let's get into it. So one thing that I find to be incredibly important is mindset, intention, and what you expect moving forward, because you attract what you know and you attract what you put out there. Like, I want you to think about older times in your life where you were like, all I attract is cheaters, or all I attract is emotionally unavailable, or all I attract is this and that. And then you're like, see, I told you so. See, I told you so. You are doing this self-fulfilling prophecy. So it starts with intention. It starts with belief. And I know that sounds a little woo-woo, but you're already on my page, so here we are. If you want healthy love, then you have to kind of like declare that and own it, because the universe is going to be like, you sure? Are you sure? Because we're going to send you some lessons in the meantime, and we'll see how you kind of deal with that. Because again, especially if unconditional healthy love wasn't shown to you in your formative stage of life, which most of us didn't get it because our parents had to go through their traumas, and we're learning now and we're changing the cycle. So I'll get off that topic. But anyway, we need to, one, stop saying these negative things, because you've seen it happen in the negative, right? But you've also seen it happen in the positive, where you're like, I know I'm going to get this job, or I know, just something where it's like, I know, and it's positive, and you own that you know, and there's no logic to it, but you know, right? And then it happens, and you're like, see, I told you so. So you can go either way with that energy. If you're sitting here saying all I attract is cheaters, then you're going to keep attracting cheaters until you say enough is enough, I don't want no more cheaters. All I attract is people that take care of me. Or you might have to go to the far end, if you haven't already, where you have to learn to embrace yourself, learn to take care of yourself, give yourself that self-care, give yourself that love, so that you know what it is that you're looking for, because you've shown yourself what love looks like. And when you become, like I've said in multiple videos, your own best friend, your own spouse, your own parent, then nobody can shake you, because you are everything that you already need. And when you're whole inside, as we all should be, the saying, you complete me, is so incredibly toxic. And the more work that I do on myself, the more I realize how bad that is. So again, I'm not trying to discourage anybody, because I used to love that saying myself. Rom-coms are my shit. But if you actually watch rom-coms, it's a lot of toxic trauma bonding. Even The Notebook, which I love that movie. But anyway, when we begin to see the patterns that we create and where they come from, then we can start to stop that cycle. And the problem that we often encounter, and that's why we think like, oh my God, we're never going to meet the right one, is because we expect it right away, right? And for some people that does end up happening. very, very rare. And also stop comparing yourself to other couples on the internet, because we always put on our best faces online. So make this about you and you only. A major problem with expecting it right away is a lot of times we're not actually ready for true love. And so an image that Spirit has given to me multiple times is like, especially for the ladies, because I don't know what it's like to shop as a man. I feel like y'all have it easier where you can just like grab clothes and go, and I wish I could do that. But for women, it's like a medium's a medium in one size in a different store than it is in another. So what I'm getting more in a way of like trying to explain this to you guys so that we can stop taking it personally is like, you have to learn what you want and what you don't want. And in order to do that, you have to meet people that are wrong for you or kind of right for you, because then you can look back and see what it is that you did like and what it is that you don't want to put up with. So like, I want you to think about a relationship that you had in the past that it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I put up with that crap, right? And you had this epiphany. You were like, I am never going to do that again. I'm never going to tolerate less than I deserve. You look back at that now and you're like, that's a different version of me. I can't relate to that. It's because you did the work and you realized, oh, hey, this is something I don't want. I'm not going to tolerate. And so I'm going to let it go. And when you do that, you open yourself up to the world to say, hey, I won't accept that, and then things will start to change. And I've seen it happen in my own personal life, so I'm not just speaking from like BS. Like, I can give you a real quick synopsis here of my dating history. It went from incredibly toxic, emotionally abusive, cheating on their end, not mine, not really a cheater, but it went from that and verbal abuse and toxicity. And then, you know, as I was doing the work, I was like, whoa, not going to tolerate that crap anymore. And so then I started receiving emotionally unavailable men who weren't necessarily cheating or outright being verbally aggressive, but they still did not love me and they made me chase their love. And so then I had to learn how, even though they weren't horribly toxic, they were still not good. And when I learned that lesson, I stopped attracting the emotionally unavailable men that just wanted to take and take and take. And then after that lesson, I had to learn how to meet someone and a couple of people that were good enough. And oh God, I have a feeling that maybe one or two of them might actually watch this. So I'm so sorry. This is not listen, at the end of the day, most of us, and I'm just, some of us, whoever is monogamous, you want that one person, right? And we have a sick society that likes to settle. And then we wonder why we're miserable. And then we're like, why are we broken? Why are we this? Why are we that? And it's like, because we keep settling and we keep making excuses for things that have so obviously run its course. And if we continue to do that, then the only person that we have to blame is ourselves. And so going backwards to what I said before about how I used to attract people that were very manipulative and verbally abusive and real bad. And then I ended that cycle. But then I had to learn more about myself, learn more about myself, learn more about myself, and those cycles until I kind of yelled to the universe, basically, if it ain't the one, I don't want it, because I just want to focus on myself and my healing, and the right person will come to me when the time is ready. And that is the attitude that you need to have moving forward if you want to find the one instead of a one. Because again, going backwards a little bit, as a society, we tend to find people to complete us. We try to find people that fill a void. We try to find people that build up our self-esteem because we don't know how to do that on our own. And so what we create is trauma bonds, and then we end up projecting, and then we end up resenting each other, and then it becomes this ugly toxic cycle. And then you wonder why I have no idea why I can't make it work with anyone, or why I'm not happy. And it's like, because you're disrespecting yourself and you're not listening to your intuition when it told you that guy wasn't the one or that girl wasn't the one about 5 months ago, when you had that first nudge in your stomach that said, hey, something's not right here. We need to start listening to our gut and to our heart, and understand that the more we follow what it is that we want and we need, and the more that we learn about ourselves, is the better chance that we have of finding the right one. And we need to be patient with that, because again, the universe is going to send you people that are like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, I'm seeing like stripper money. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? It's like, oh my God, like I'm seeing like a rat, like cage where it's like, there's the cheese, and then it's like you fell for the cheese. And listen, I fell for the cheese a lot of times. I fell for the cheese, girl, boy, whoever's watching this, I get it. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all ache and crave for love, but you have to ask yourself, and I would recommend writing it the hell down and having a list. And that list can't be something that's physical, because honestly, like, you're setting yourself up for failure there. You can't be like, I want a man that has black hair and green eyes and a six-pack and over 6 feet tall. Like, you're going to set yourself up for failure. But if you're writing a list and you're demanding it to the universe that you want someone who's a great communicator, who's emotionally available, who has their own passions, who's not codependent on you, who... whatever it is that makes you happy. I'm just thinking about my stuff, like someone that can hold a conversation because I really like to talk. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is that lights you up. Someone that you could see yourself falling in love with, but that's also a best friend. We, again, settle so much in society, and that's because that's, again, what we were taught. I want you to think about how a few decades ago, not that long ago, women couldn't have a bank account. I'm not trying to single out men here, but women couldn't have a bank account. So we had to be grateful for a man just doing nothing, respectfully. And I'm not trying to shit on men. This is not a hate men page. I don't like people that don't want to work on themselves. That's the issue that I have with people. I don't care about gender. I don't care about color. I don't care about that. We're not going to get into that, so don't come for me in the comments. I got an issue with people that like to project instead of like to do their own work. So, anyway, the point is, if you want healthy, if you want the one, if you want the person that you can truly see yourself spending the rest of your life with, then you have to be honest with yourself. For one, if you're in a relationship already, can you see yourself with that person 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road? Are you growing and they're not growing and you're making excuses? Maybe they made sense in the past, but they don't make sense now. Or maybe you're just noticing that relationships made sense in the past, but they don't make sense now. You know what I'm saying? Like, relationships that you once had, you might be looking back and reflecting on now, like, if I was me today, I would not date them. And don't beat yourself up for that, because you used the tools you had back when you were in that situation. But now it's time to go, I know my worth. I know what I want. I'm not settling for anything less than I deserve. I'm going to choose me. I'm going to love myself so loudly, so unapologetically that it moves mountains. And listen, just so you know, people are going to hate you and talk shit about you no matter what you do. There's always going to be people that are mad, miserable, jealous, yada, yada. So you might as well take up space and live your best life. So give them something to talk about. You know what I mean? But if you're here for that true love that, you know, the world sold you, that soulmate connection, that love of your life where it never gets old because they feel like a best friend and a counterpart, then you've got to do the work, and you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. Are they good, but they're not great? Do they fit 5 out of 10 of your needs? 8 out of 10 of your needs, but the other 2 are inherently important. We need to stop making excuses and stop with this lack mentality of, oh, if I don't settle for this person, then that means I'm going to end up alone. There is a reason that your heart and soul is like, something's not right here. And listen, if you don't listen to it, the universe might just bring it to you. They might tell you so that you have to face it. That's usually why you see a lot of couples that are like 10+ years in, and then they have this big blowout and they break up and they divorce, and people are like, oh my God, I never saw it coming. But you ask that woman, because men aren't as in control with their intuition, but if you ask that woman, she knew years ago, but she didn't want to go. And that's what we need to stop doing as a society, because not only that, I'm going to end it with this on a more positive note. You're doing yourself a dissatisfaction, and you're doing the person that you're with a dissatisfaction, because you both aren't meant for each other and you're forcing it to work. And I know that it's hard to let go of someone that you care about, but if they don't meet all of your needs, then not only are you hurting yourself, but you're hurting them, because that time apart gives you time to grow, to figure out what you need and what you want and what you don't want. It gives them time to do the same, and then they get to go on and find who's right for them. They might beat you, and that's okay. And they might actually just find another karmic because they don't want to do the work. And again, that's okay, because What people are doing are none of our business. Let's focus on ourselves, our needs, and our wants. If we put all the energy that this is the greatest place to end. If we put all of our energy into ourselves the way we put it into focusing on other people, we would be so much happier. I'm going to leave it with what I'm seeing right now. It's like a sim character running into a wall when the door is right there. Like, that's really what it's like. It's like, I don't understand why I can't find love. And you're sitting there and you're not celebrating. You're stuck in something that doesn't make you happy. And you're like, I don't know why it's not working. I've tried everything. It's like, because that's not the one. Just be honest with yourself. I know it's hard, but how many times have you cried while being in a relationship that you were trying to make excuses for? You're going to hurt and be sad no matter what if that person isn't the one. So stop clinging on to people that don't serve you. The sooner you get comfortable with being alone and loving yourself is the sooner you're going to be a better vibrational match to people that actually worship and cherish you. The people that I attract today are nothing like the people that I used to attract before I loved myself. Listen, respectfully, when you begin to love yourself out loud, the audacity of the people that used to disrespect you won't even come around anymore because they know better. It's like an energy you give off. It's like, come correct or don't come at all. So if that's what you want, if you want true, real, honest to God love, the shit that we saw in the movies with the grandparents getting old, because I didn't see it in my personal life, but I saw it in the movies. And if that's what you truly want, then it starts and ends with you. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your needs. Be honest where your faults are. Be honest where you sabotage relationships. Be honest where you sabotage yourself. Go inwards. Figure out where all that's coming from. Clear all that crap out. Sit, let go, and let the universe decide who's supposed to be for you. And you will know. You'll get an intuitive nudge. If you're meant to meet them at I don't want to say bar. If you're meant to meet them at an event, for instance, then you might get a friend out of nowhere that's like, hey, you should come to this thing. And you might have this nudge that's like, yeah, I should go to that thing. But then your brain goes, I don't really feel like it. You got to start listening to this and stop listening to this, because your brain will trap you in situations that you don't even have to be in. But the moment you start listening to this is your compass. This is your guidance system. You trust Google Maps, you trust Waze, you trust all of that crap, but you don't trust your own internal guidance system. Why is that? Ask yourself that question, and I guarantee it's because somewhere along the line in the past, someone told you that you couldn't, and that's not true at all. So what you want can ultimately be yours if you are fantasizing about it, if you have dreams about it. There is a reason for that. But in order to get the things that you want, you have to be patient. You have to reflect. You have to look at what it is that the universe is showing you so that you can learn more about yourself, your needs, and those around you. And that's it. It really is that simple. You will eventually align to the right one, but you might get some karmics in the meantime to teach you what other shit you have to let go of. And that's okay. You might meet a karmic that teaches you that you have no respect for yourself and it's going to hurt you. And then you're going to be like, no, I'm done. I don't want a relationship ever again. And then you finally get to a place where you're like, I love myself. I'm just going to be focusing on me. And then all of a sudden someone comes out of nowhere and you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to date now. But you're still like avoidant now because you're afraid. And so the universe sends you another karmic to help you open your heart. But then you ended up growing and now you guys don't mesh well. It's weird how the universe works. It's dedicated to your needs. So think about what it is that you're lacking in. Think about what it is that you still need to learn. And when you put all of the puzzle pieces together, it will all make sense. So if this video was helpful, please leave a comment. But I want you, I know that like homework's a bitch and you don't have to do real actual homework, but I want you to reflect on the X's and reflect on what I've just said and think about how it all lines up. Think about the exes you used to date. Think about the moments that you were like, enough is enough. Think about how maybe the people you attracted started to change, right? And then you kept doing that. Rinse, wash, repeat. You are helping yourself. Like I'm seeing a ladder. You are, not a ladder, I'm seeing stairs. You are helping yourself climb up of those limiting beliefs, basically, to get the person that's right for you. And isn't that the goal? Isn't that what we all want? There is what, like 8 billion people on this planet now? You will find the right person. So stop settling for monotony, complacency, codependency, projection, drama, if that's not what you want. If you want peace in your life, then you have to radiate peace so that you are a vibrational match to it. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that this video was helpful. If you guys have any ideas on things that you need help with, as always, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Let me know in the comments if this video was helpful. Please like this video. That helps me so much. Thank you to anyone that just gives me the time to let me share my story. And I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys so much. Bye, my baby.